Hey folks, this is Kalani. We're going to be looking at another garrison building available in Warlords of Draenor. So this is the one which is going to break all the rules, and it's probably on everyone's radar because there's a lot of fun things to be had from this. This is the Goblin Workshop. I believe on the Alliance it's called the Gnomish Gearworks. So this is where you get your nuke, and I'm pretty sure most of you have heard of your nuke. If you haven't, we'll be sampling the majority of the little toys you can get here. The only ones I don't have available are the turrets and the sticky grenades, but they're pretty self-explanatory and kind of the boring ones anyway, so we can have some fun a little later in the video. But this is the engineering building. Now when I say that, it's got no ties to the actual profession. It just makes a few nice gadgets for you to use out and about. So that's kind of the first thing to notice, is that it's nothing to do with engineering. You won't get any extra things for having engineering here. It won't benefit you, and you don't need it at all. So kind of, take that in going forward. We do have access to 9 gadgets at level 2. At level 1 you gain access to the first 4, which are the Robo Rooster, the sticky grenades, the power gauntlet, and the personal delivery system, which is basically a glider, which makes things kind of fun. But when you get up to level 2, you gain access to the Mechana Hog, or the Mechana Gear. You know the one. You know the one I'm talking about. The Alliance Mechana Hog. Mechana Hog is just better anyway. Which is a very fast ground mount, so that's kind of cool. You also get access to a jetpack, turrets, a rocket which you can ride around for a brief spell, and then you get your nuke. So your nuke is at level 2, and then at level 3 in this building you get access to the siege weapons, or machine. You get to ride around in your siege machines. I'm not entirely sure about the cooldown. It's obviously going to have quite a lengthy cooldown. It's once per day, I know that. I don't know how long you can be in it though, which is really the thing that we're all interested in. And obviously the Alliance get to run around in their own variation. I'm not entirely sure how much that's going to break the game. I kind of imagine it might, considering a lot of the garrison abilities in the other zones are really powerful anyway. For this to come from a garrison building, I can imagine a lot of people wreaking havoc with these things, which is awesome, let's be honest. So, to get to level 3, you need to use all of the gadgets. So you need to use the Robo Rooster 20 times, 50 sticky grenades, etc, etc, etc. You can see you're going to have to get these quite a few times and use them all during the times when you have them available. They rotate every day, so you can get a different one every day. It might be the same one, it's kind of RNG on what happens there. But if you use all of them up, then it actually respawns for you in your garrison building. So I believe it's the Pneumatic Power gauntlet from here. I have collected a few of them, because obviously we're going to play around with them, and I believe it is the Power gauntlet. This might not work, but it doesn't really matter if it doesn't. So we've used up all the charges of the Power gauntlet, deleted it, and there it is. So we can happily collect that again and go about knocking people around. So let's get to what quite a few of you are probably here for, and that's playing about with all the toys. We'll start with the level 1, so we'll start with the Robo Rooster. I don't have sticky grenades, but sticky grenades, basically you fire a sticky grenade at an enemy and it's a timed explosive and goes boom. So, kind of self-explanatory. And we'll look at the personal delivery system as well. So those 3 first, and then the 4 after. I don't have access to turrets either, but again, pretty self-explanatory. It throws down 3 turrets, I believe it is, which start doing pretty crazy damage to anything around you. So let's get started and have a look at these gadgets. So first up, we have the Robo Rooster. Summons a Robo Rooster that will fight for you for 10 minutes on a 10-minute cooldown with 5 charges. So we'll go ahead and bring out our little Robo Rooster. It's a Guardian, so it'll help you fight all the little nasties. It does do quite a ridiculous chunk of damage, I'm going to be honest. So let's go find ourselves something to kill. Now obviously because it's a Guardian you can't really control what it's going to do. but happily whacks away at everything. And, you know, almost 2 shots in level 90s. Hitting for 12k, 13k is pretty absurd, considering, you know, I only have 120. Having one of these things and doing some world PvP could be very interesting indeed. So, an Arcane Barrage hit for 2.5. It basically hits harder than me. Sometimes. Which is pretty crazy. I think that's definitely going to give you a nice bit of muscle on any group quests or anything. So let's move on to the Power Gauntlet. So next up we have the Pneumatic Power Gauntlet. Punches your enemy with explosive force, inflicting physical damage and knocking them away. So let's have a look, see just how much damage it does. Bear in mind it does seem to be on a 2-minute cooldown as well. So not going to be using it all that often. Here, kitty kitty. And pow. 7k? Not terrible. Doesn't really seem to have a great deal of use outside of knocking people away. I mean, you might be able to have some fun with knocking people off of places. Maybe, again, world PvP. If you knock anybody off a cliff, that could be interesting. Although most folk who want to do that already have a knockback, but this at least evens the playing field. So a nice little knockback in the palm of your hand. So this next one, Sky Terror Personal Delivery System, I kind of wanted to get somewhere a little higher, but there doesn't really seem to be anywhere really high around here besides up there. We might aim for there. I don't think we'll be able to go high enough, but make sure you got a clear sky up above. Personal Delivery System. We might be able to. Should we go for the hills? Who said you couldn't fly in Draenor? That's one way to skip a few zones. Oh, and we almost crashed. And we got an achievement, not bad. Those come with 2 charges, so you'd have to revisit your garrison quite a lot to get these replenished, but I can see too many people having too much fun with this. And if you can use this in combat, that's gonna kind of be a little broken. Oh, getting ganked. Nope. I'll just skip across and happily fly into the mountains where no one can chase me. But that's the delivery system. Let's get to some of the goodies. We're moving on to the level 2 little toys. The first one we're going to look at in level 2 is the prototype Mechana Hog. Obviously this is going to change name for the Alliance, but essentially ride a prototype Mechana Hog with exploding ejector seat. This is an extremely fast vehicle. 3-second cooldown, so nothing really all too amazing there. And it's got 10 charges, so fantastic. Exploding ejector seat. Launch your seat into the air in a fiery explosion that damages and stuns enemies. Doesn't feel a great deal faster. Doesn't seem to have a passenger seat. Potentially just a Mechana Hog that you can blow up to eject. Not entirely sure that's worth. Not quite as fun as possibly imagined. Well, let's see just how much damage this does, because this is what we're riding on, let's be honest. Okay. And we've got a nice slow fall down. That's a nice chunk of damage. It's not going to one-shot anyone out in level 100 town, but up to maybe 95, I think, yeah, you're pretty much sorted. Any little nuances who are chasing you and, you know... Whoa! I don't think that's acceptable not to die from something like this. Stuns them as well. Interesting. So yeah, I wonder if you can get dazed on it. Because if you can get dazed, just blow it up and kill whoever's chasing you. That'd teach them to be right on your tail. But yeah, that's the Mechana Hog. Doesn't seem to go faster than your ground mount, so maybe not useful in that respect, but hey, at least you get to blow things up, right? Next up, we have the GG117 Micro Jetpack. Changes your jump into a fiery leap, deals fire damage and knocks down enemies at the impact location. So, nice jetpack. And literally changes your jump. You can't really control that. But it does seem to have a small internal cooldown and doesn't like jumping over things. Cool. Well, we've got a rare here with 300k health, give or take. So I reckon if we jump about here... Nope. But he jumped a little better. So let's see if we can actually land one of these. Probably not while he's chasing me. Evade. Okay, I know how we can do this. Bear with me, I'm playing poorly. Not a great deal of damage. And does seem to have DR on the knockback. Or the knockdown, rather. Doesn't leave a damage over time effect on the floor or anything. Overall, a little disappointing, really, considering you can't control the jump at all and it just kind of wants to go where it goes. Kind of interesting for getting to places faster, I guess. Although a mount is still going to be preferable. Jumping off things? Do you like jumping off things? No. Well, that's just thoroughly disappointing, but that's the jetpack. So the next one we're going to look at is the ZX57 Bullseye Guided Rocket Kit. Now make sure you've got clear skies once again, because we're going to go for a little bit of a fly. Now I'm on a nice large tower, so we can get some decent distance going. These last for 1 minute with a 5-second cooldown, so not all that much of a cooldown, but you do have charges, and it comes with 2 charges, and I've already played with it a little bit, so this is going to be the last charge. And here we go. We need more air! I think you have to hit the ground first, which is slightly disappointing. It would be brilliant if it started to get some nice drag in the air, so you could happily start exploring. But it cuts off about 10 seconds, depending on how far you fire. Maybe it's just a timed thing, but either way, you have a minute or so to nicely cruise through the air and take in the sights. It's about long enough to maybe get halfway across a zone, which is potentially not very helpful, but you can create it anywhere, so it's not too bad. It could be a lot worse. It could specify where you create them. It could say you can only make it in your garrison, which would be thoroughly disappointing. Explodes on timeout, and as a very quick warning, it does not, I repeat, does not give you a parachute, or it at least doesn't at the moment, so maybe get somewhere safe if you don't have an ability to slow your descent. But yes, that is the rocket. Let's have a look at the one you've probably been waiting for. So, saving the best for last, we're going to look at the Nuclear Target Painter. Obviously, it stands for something highly technical. Non-uranium kinetic ukulele laser-assisted rockets? Maybe. Paint a target location, causing a powerful warhead to land there after 10 seconds. So it's got quite a wind-up, dealing 500,000 fire damage to all enemies within 20 yards. I think maybe we'll wait for another camouflage. Like a true ghost. Ooh, that's actually pretty big. Can we get 2 groups here? We need to kill as many Iron Horde as possible. But 10 seconds may make aiming it a little awkward, which I guess is the point. So, yeah, okay. All that's missing is the StarCraft ghost saying it. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Only 1 charge. And 1 hour cooldown. So even if you can pick up another one of these, you're still going to have to wait quite a while. But 500,000 fire damage. That's pretty insane. So it's that time of the video. We're going to have a look at what these buildings look like, starting with the Horde. The Goblin Workshop looks pretty goblin, I have to say. You can actually see this building around. It's definitely an ashram. I think it's potentially in a few other places to do with the Goblin faction who is on Draenor, so it's not a unique building sadly, but we've got a few little toys inside. What else can you say? You've got your siege vehicle, which comes to life at level 3. Bear in mind this is a level 2 building. Oh look, another nuclear target painter. Pick that up and wait another 55 minutes, but never mind. We've got a few little generators, and overall it looks very engineering. As I was saying, level 2 building, so still room for expansion. Let's go have a look at the Alliance building. And here we are on the Alliance side of things. We've got very open building. This is the Gnomish Gearworks, so pretty much exactly the same. Oh, we'll pick up the nuclear target painter. Maybe make use of that later. Got the Robo Rooster as well. Fantastic. But as you can see, supplies everywhere, little toys everywhere, generators once again. Oh, aye. What are you powering with this machine? None of the NPCs really talk to you.
Need assistance?
You can ask about how the inventions work, but that's kind of it. You don't have work orders anywhere. As I say, it's not actually tied to any of your professions, engineering specifically, but we've got the siege vehicle for the Alliance. Nice and shiny. Nice and shiny indeed. Nice eagle head. I wonder if they come with varying animal heads. There's a little toy robot up there as well. Cool. But remember, this is a large plot. I actually can't wait to see what these look like as level 3, because although, you know, they're nice and big and open, little generator on the top as well. They're kind of small for a large building. I mean, if you compare this with the Dwarven bunker over yonder, the Dwarven bunker seems to have a little more presence, but that is the Gnomish Gearworks. Why do they have to swap around the names? And the Goblin Workshop, the engineering and nice little toy buildings which break all the rules. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comments section below and I'll try to get back to you. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always, I will see you next time.